What if I told you one of the most complete fighters in combat sports isn't in the UFC? He's not shooting double legs inside the octagon. He's not wearing 4-ounce gloves. But if he did, there's a real argument. He could have been a problem for everybody. We're talking about Terence Crawford. Now, most people know Crawford as one of the greatest boxers of this era. Undefeated, switch hitting, and high IQ. And honestly, kind of terrifying once he downloads your rhythm. But what a lot of people don't realize is, Crawford isn't just a boxer. He wrestles. And not like I mess around in the gym wrestles. We're talking real mat time, real grappling instincts, real competitiveness. This is a guy who will literally jump on the mats with anyone, fighters, amateurs, coaches, and go to war just for the challenge. And here's where it gets interesting. In boxing, you're limited. You can't grab, you can't shoot, you can't control someone on the ground. But Crawford, he's been sharpening tools that don't even apply to his sport. Which raises a serious question. What would happen if you gave Terence Crawford the freedom to use everything? Striking, wrestling, clinch, control. Now you're not just dealing with a boxer. You're dealing with a fighter. Let's be real for a second. A lot of elite boxers struggle when you bring up mixed martial arts. Different stance, different timing, different threats. But Crawford, he already understands one of the hardest transitions: physical control, balance, leverage, pressure. Those are wrestling fundamentals, and he already has them. So instead of starting from zero, he'd be starting ahead. And this is where people are going to get mad. Because if Crawford had committed to mixed martial arts early, there's a real argument he could have crossed over into the Ultimate Fighting Championship and made serious noise. Not just celebrity fight noise. We're talking legit competition. Because what makes Crawford dangerous isn't just skill. It's adaptability. This is a guy who can switch from orthodox to southpaw mid-fight, figure you out, and then completely break you down. Now imagine that mindset, but in a cage, where he can close distance, clinch up, drag you down, and still piece you up on the feet. That's a nightmare style. And then, there's this. Crawford didn't just keep this quiet. He's actually hinted at it. Even going as far as sending a message to Conor McGregor, basically saying, "Watch out, I'm back on the mats." Now, is that playful? Yeah. But is there truth behind it? Also, yeah. Because fighters don't say things like that for no reason.
Stay tuned, baby. Stay tuned. Workers.
Imagine Crawford in a controlled MMA camp for 2 to 3 years. Focused wrestling, submission defense, cage awareness. Now take his striking, which is already elite at a world championship level, and add even basic grappling defense. Now you've got a guy who can't be taken down easily, can outstrike most opponents, and can mentally outmaneuver people. That's dangerous in any division. Now let's be honest, mixed martial arts is a different beast. You've got killers everywhere. guys who have been wrestling since they were kids, training jiu-jitsu for decades. So no, this isn't saying Crawford walks in and dominates overnight. But it is saying this: he wouldn't be out of place. And that alone is crazy to think about. Because what separates Crawford isn't just physical ability, it's his mindset. He's not emotional in fights. He's calculated, cold. He studies you, figures you out, and then takes everything away from you. That mentality translates across any combat sport. So now the real question becomes, did boxing ever limit what Crawford could have become? Because when you look at athletes like him, multi-talented, competitive in everything, willing to learn, you start to wonder, what if he had gone a different route? What if, instead of becoming undisputed in boxing, he stepped into the cage? What if we saw him mix striking with wrestling, timing with control, IQ with unpredictability? Would he have been a contender, a champion, or something even more dangerous, a problem nobody could solve? We may never get that answer. But one thing is clear. Terence Crawford is more than just a boxer. He's a fighter. And if the opportunity ever came, don't be surprised if he reminds the world he's been ready for more this whole time.
Wrestling, man, I always say, I'm a boxer, but I can wrestle. If a wrestler grab you, over with if you don't know how to wrestle. And 9 times out of 10, a street fight, you're gonna end up on the ground. If you don't knock him out before he grab you, it's over with. You know, wrestlers, they tough. You might bite them, they might be like, bite harder. Put you in a chokehold, and then it's over with.
And honestly, that might be the scariest part.